The wine glass slipped from her fingers and clinked loudly against the table, red liquid sloshing dangerously close to the edge. Several heads turned. The soft anniversary music kept playing, but something had already broken. She laughed first. "You know what?" she said, waving her hand carelessly. Her cheeks flushed from alcohol. "I only married you for your money." The words landed harder than the glass ever could. He froze mid-reach, his hand hovering just above the table. For a second, he wondered if he had misheard her. The restaurant seemed to shrink. The chatter around them dulled into a distant hum. He searched her face for a sign that this was a joke, a bad attempt at humor she would immediately regret. But she was smiling. "Relax," she added, leaning back in her chair. "Why are you looking at me like that?" A couple at the next table exchanged an awkward glance. The waiter slowed his steps. Silence stretched between them, thick and uncomfortable. He forced a small laugh, the kind people make when they're trying not to fall apart. "You've had too much wine," he said quietly. She rolled her eyes. "Oh, please. Everyone knows money matters. Don't act shocked." The rest of the dinner passed in fragments. He nodded when he was supposed to. He answered when spoken to. He tasted nothing. Every few seconds, her words replayed in his head, sharper each time, cutting deeper with every repetition. When they finally got home, she kicked off her heels and collapsed onto the bed, already half asleep. He stood in the doorway, watching her chest rise and fall, wondering how someone could sleep so peacefully after saying something that shattered another person. He didn't confront her that night. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't ask questions he already knew the answers to. Instead, he sat alone in the living room until morning. In the quiet, memories resurfaced. How he'd paid for their first apartment without hesitation. How she'd laughed whenever someone mentioned budgeting. How she'd proudly told friends she married well. He had always interpreted those moments generously. Love makes people forgiving like that. By morning, forgiveness felt foolish. At breakfast, she acted normal. Too normal. "Morning," she said, scrolling through her phone. "What do you want to do today?" He studied her face. No guilt, no hesitation, just expectation. "Busy day," he replied. "Work stuff." She nodded, already bored with the answer. That week, he changed one small thing. He canceled the weekend spa trip she'd been excited about. "What?" she asked sharply when he told her. "Why?" "Money's tight this month," he said calmly. She frowned. "Tight? Since when?" "Since now." She didn't argue, but her mood soured instantly. Doors closed harder. Replies became shorter. That night, she ate dinner in silence, tapping her fork against the plate. The next week, he made another change. No expensive dinners, no surprise gifts. When her car needed servicing, he suggested waiting a few weeks. "You're joking, right?" she snapped. "Do you know how embarrassing that is?" He looked at her evenly. "It can wait." Her laugh was sharp and humorless. "You're really starting to act strange." He said nothing. Over the following weeks, the house felt colder. Not because of arguments, but because affection quietly vanished. She stopped asking about his day, stopped sitting close to him on the couch. When friends called, he overheard her complaining. "He's changed," she said one night, unaware he was in the next room. "I didn't sign up for this." Those words sealed it. One evening, she finally confronted him outright. "So what's going on?" she demanded, arms crossed. "Are you trying to punish me or something?" He met her gaze. "Punish you for what?" She hesitated, just for a moment, then scoffed. "Exactly, nothing. That's my point." He nodded slowly, as if confirming something to himself. "Okay." His calm seemed to irritate her more than anger ever could. "You're being weird," she said. "If this is about that stupid thing I said at dinner, you're overreacting." "Am I?" he asked quietly. She opened her mouth, then closed it. "I was joking." He didn't respond. That night, while she slept, he sat at the kitchen table with his laptop and searched for a lawyer. The meeting was short and professional. The lawyer spoke in measured tones, outlining options, rights, and realities. He listened carefully, asking questions without emotion. Each answer felt like another step away from the life he thought he had. When he returned home, she was on the phone, laughing loudly. He watched her from the doorway, realizing something painful but freeing. He wasn't angry anymore. He was done. The final straw came a few days later. She stormed into the living room, phone in hand. "My card declined," she said. "Fix it." He looked up from his book. "I won't." Her eyes widened. "Excuse me?" "I won't fix it," he repeated. "You'll have to handle it." She stared at him as if he'd insulted her. "You can't be serious." "I am." Her voice rose. "Do you know who I am without you? Do you know what I gave up to be with you?" He stood slowly, meeting her eye level. "I know exactly who you are." For a moment, she looked unsure, then defensive. "You're being cruel." "No," he said. "I'm being honest." She laughed bitterly. "You think you're better than me now?" "No," he replied. "I think I finally see you." A week later, he set the table carefully. Candles, wine, the same restaurant-style dinner she loved. When she walked in, her expression softened. "What's all this?" she asked, suspicious but hopeful. "Anniversary redo," he said. "Sit." She smiled, relief washing over her face. "I knew you'd come around." They ate in silence for a few minutes. She sipped her wine, relaxed again. Then he slid an envelope across the table. "What's this?" she asked. "Open it." Her smile faded as she read. Her hands trembled. "You're serious?" she whispered. He nodded. "Completely." "This is insane," she said, standing abruptly. "You can't do this." "I already have." She reached for him, panic replacing arrogance. "I didn't mean it like that. You know that, right?" He looked at her gently. "You meant it exactly how you said it." Tears formed in her eyes. "We can fix this." He shook his head. "You don't fix the truth. You live with it." She sank back into her chair, silent now. He packed a small bag that night. At the door, she spoke again, her voice barely audible. "So that's it?" He paused. "You told me why you married me. I finally listened." He left without slamming the door. Months later, he sat alone in a quiet apartment, peace replacing the noise that once filled his life. He wasn't richer or poorer than before, but he was lighter. Sometimes the most painful confessions are accidental, and sometimes they're the greatest gifts. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more powerful stories about truth, betrayal, and self-worth.